There you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
How are you?
Great, Rick. Where do you stay?
Right in the cottage.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You own that cottage?
Yes, it's the house and then the cottage and then the front food.
What do you mean the house? You own the house too?
Yeah, it's a one. It's actually.
My
two
gosh!
parcels,
You know, I remember when it was built.
Yeah.
I used to live upstairs here.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. So, you just sold foods.
Just sold foods. Yeah.
How's that feel?
Weird. No.
You own the building though.
So, yeah, we still own the property, and a really nice couple is coming in. I don't know if you Bharat Banjana.
Yeah.
Who did sushi over at Stop and Shop for a while, and then
Yes.
he wants to come here. He's going to keep the pizza and some of the things that subs and all that.
He'll still keep
and
it
then,
called Foods?
That's what he said. He said, you know, Foods is kind of a ubiquitous name.
Well,
it doesn't
is.
really say much, frankly.
They're going to still have the cheese special.
I hope so. If not,
And that
my
was the
children,
thing that I always loved about
my
that.
boys are not going
That
to
was
be
my
happy if they...
The cheese special.
Yeah, that's the low-calorie choice on the menu, right?
Okay, so I'm driving you to the airport, but first we're going to go for a little drive.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay?
Yeah, that's great.
And you also own the Rosencrown.
I do. Yeah.
But you don't own that building, just the name.
No, just the name. Phil Osley, who owns Sunken Ship, is owner of that building.
Yep.
So we have a great relationship with them, and been there since 2004. Bought Foods in 03 and Rosencrown in 04, and just getting ready to...
Now you don't live here though, year round.
Not year
You
round.
live in
We
Chicago.
used to. We used to be here year round, and then we moved off island back in 07. And I come back and forth a lot, and then in the summers my wife and kids are here as much as they can be here. So.
And you're in the insurance business?
Yeah.
What do you actually do?
I run a division of Regions Insurance Group for Regions Financial out of Birmingham.
Okay.
It's a 23,000 employee bank, and we're about $150 million brokerage firm.
Okay.
So run that out of Chicago. So. And
how did that all come about?
Well, I've always been in the insurance business. Right out of school, that was my first job.
Okay.
And we just, with the Nantucket thing, with the food, my mom owned a gourmet food store in the Philadelphia area when I was growing up and going through college. So I always just loved food. And then, you know, we honeymooned here in '85, kept coming back, bought a house in Sconset. Back then, you could afford a house in Wisconsin.
Is that true? What year was this?
This was that house we bought in 1998, and I guess it's all proportional.
Good investment.
But it was, at the time. So, and then with the kids growing up here and spending summers and stuff, we got to a point where, at the time when foods became available, we thought it would be great to have additional sort of toehold in the island.
Okay.
And we ended up, when it came available, we said, why don't we just drop out of the real world and move out here full time?
Tried it.
That's what we did, and we loved it. And we had some issues with our middle son in terms of some special needs, so we ended up having to move off island. But I don't think we ever would have left had that not been the case. But thankfully, he's doing great and everything's fine. But at the time, there was not a lot of resources out here for kids with Asperger's. So
he's got Asperger's.
Yeah.
Okay. How's he doing?
Doing great. He's doing great.
And the school that you sent him to, is that a local school for where you live in Lake Forest?
Yeah. It was a local school.
Yeah.
And they had the services. A lot more so now with Autism Speaks and things, and Suzanne Wright and those efforts. There's a lot more services here than there were 15, 12 years ago. So
right.
But
why did you sell foods? I mean, was it just time, or were you tired, or
it was time. I mean, in all honesty, I probably worked 60, 80 hours a week in my day job with Regions.
Yeah.
And I'm coming back here every 4 to 6 weeks, and I was landing in cities and going to hotels Wednesday night and transferring payroll and stuff like that. So it just got to the point where it was just too much.
Let somebody else run it and enjoy it.
And I think you need, with restaurants, you got to be on top of them, and you need the energy. And to be fair, I think foods, as much as I love it, I think someone will take it and do better with it. And they'll have the energy and passion that we had when we bought it.
Right.
And there's no harm in saying that. It's just the truth.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
great.
Barat and his wife are going to do a great job,
And they did a great job.
They really
They
did,
proved
yeah.
that they, dedicated to the industry.
absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of dedicated, I got to give you, I love the Rose and Crown.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, the Rose and Crown, you haven't changed it really too much,
No.
right?
No.
Why? Why haven't you gone Gucci on us?
I don't know. I think Deb and I have this conversation. Deb Pitcock, she's been in that building longer than I have.
Yeah.
And Deb is amazing. She's like a sister, and we have this. There's that love-hate with changing it. I think in some cases can be really good.
Yeah.
And in other cases you might lose what you've had.
But Rick, look at what we have here.
Yeah.
Look at this row of transitional buildings.
Yep.
That once were could have been clients of the Rose and Crown. Not that
Right.
they wouldn't be again.
No, that's
but
true,
most
though.
likely though they're not going to go into
That's true.
So
That's
I mean,
true.
don't you feel like you're getting squeezed a little bit here? I mean,
we're
even
lucky.
the theater over here
Yep.
is going to be upscale.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fancy. This is all fancy.
It
now
is
the town
quite
building
fancy.
wants to leave. I mean, they want to leave a lot of the offices we want to take out.
Sure.
So tell me, what do you?
We're growing. So each year we do a little better than the last, and we did a major renovation 2 years ago with the windows and the doors, and another
looks
year.
really
so,
good right now too.
Oh,
Look at it, doesn't
yeah,
it?
before the snow. This is perfect.
Right.
But in another year or so, we'll do the bathrooms, and then it'll be pretty much completely renovated. But you're right. I mean, you look at the macro trend on the island. There's a lot less boarding houses and bed and breakfast and things like that, where people would go out to eat every meal.
Right.
And you're not really limiting necessarily liquor license or food licenses and things like that. So yeah, it's tough. I mean, you got to work hard to stay competitive and
Yes,
good.
and
So,
you do. I mean, it makes
we
money.
do. Yeah, absolutely.
But you attract a certain kind of clientele.
No doubt. No
Okay,
doubt.
you attract the workers of the island mostly.
Yep.
A lot of ethnic people, Jamaicans, Eastern Europeans. It's packed in there
Yeah.
on the weekends.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do you get any flack from other local people about people coming in and that kind of a style bar right in this area that's changing so much?
No, not to my face. Maybe. Maybe.
Does that and you're not? Do you keep it that way for a reason? I mean, you could take this bar and if you had the location, but do you feel like you're really serving a certain
absolutely,
niche? Yeah?
absolutely. And it's not just ethnicity. It's local Nantucketers. It's people that have been used to going there. I go into different cities around the country in my insurance job, and people they find out about Nantucket. They ask. I tell them about Rose and Crown. Oh, I met my wife there. I met it's just it's. There's certainly an upscale, or as you could say, Gucci kind of atmosphere, but there's a need for it. There's a market for it, and we do well. And I don't. I would argue almost the other way, Gino. That I don't know that downtown needs yet another Gucci place, right? So there's the element of having a place where a mom and dad can bring their kids and get out for under $200, or $100 even, and it's needed.
Right.
It's needed. So we have to do a lot more volume.
Right.
But when I look at our annual sales volume compares to some of the other high-end places, it's very competitive, and it's just that we probably have to stay open a few more months to do it. We can't just do it right in the summer season.
Right.